Thailand is one of the main ASEAN transport points and logistics hubs. It is also the second largest economy in the ASEAN region after Indonesia, with an upper middle income majority of the population. The logistics industry in the ASEAN region faces fierce competition from both domestic and international players. The demand for logistics services rises, and with technology and e-commerce on the rise, logistics will continue to grow rapidly. Thailand has one of the region's highest number of internet users, and this means that there are around 57 million internet users and digital natives in the country that rely on the internet to find information to purchase products. The expanding user base means that Thailand has an ideal environment for e-commerce and logistics. But before we jump into the history of Thailand's logistics landscape, let us first understand the global history of logistics. The term logistics is widely defined as a process of planning and implementing the transportation of goods and services, including everything to coordinate products through pickup, storage, warehousing, and drop-off to the endpoint that is the customer. Today, we think of logistics simply as delivery services. Let's jump into the history of logistics. With the growth of globalization, most especially in the 1990s, import and export grew, and the transportation process has become an important part of the business in terms of time and cost. Businesses at the time started to take logistics as part of the strategy to maintain the timeliness of their activities and market share. As a result, logistics management emerged. In the mid-19th to mid-20th centuries, the birth of the industrial era changed logistics in considerable ways because of technology. Innovations in tools, machineries, mode of transportations, and communication transformed businesses and the global economy. During the latter half of the 19th century, railroad, steamships, and telegraph dramatically changed communication and transportation. This was when internal combustion engines powered vehicles that could travel on multiple surfaces, pipeline, air transport, telephone, radio, radar, television, and telephotography were born. This continued on into the beginning of the 20th century. As logistics progressed due to advancing technology, more people and more supplies were able to travel greater distances. New techniques for organization and management were needed to keep up with these advances. Separate logistics functions emerged. It was no longer simply about transporting goods from point A to point B. Everything in between became more important, such as warehousing and management. When we entered the 21st century, internet access boomed due to globalization and the accelerated growth of technology. This inevitably bore cyber-physical systems, CPS, a computer system that senses, computates, controls, and networks physical objects and infrastructure, connecting them to the internet and to each other. CPS enabled goods to flow and be tracked in real time through diverse and complicated systems. This provided greater levels of transparency and information for suppliers and customers alike. Logistics technology has gotten a lot smarter. Going forward, it is inevitable that technology will continue to advance logistics processes. We will continue to see faster and more complex flow of goods, services, supplies, and information. Like any other industry or business, logistics will continue to be transformed by emerging trends in technology. With new advancements in the Internet of Things, automation, AI, machine learning, and so on, we will definitely see new approaches to logistics in the future.